So, hi, Chris.
Hi, Petra.
Chris is one of the regular dancers on the online space and has also danced with me in live spaces. I'm here with him today to just hear a little bit about how the dance has come into Chris's life, what the dance means to him, how it is to be dancing online now in these times of crisis.
My story, dance. Dance and me were strangers for a very long time. In fact, mid-40s, when I got divorced for the first time, it was one of the three things that were true about me was I don't dance. I was heavily in James Hollis's first half of life, where everything's a giant big mistake. And it was really interesting because one of the things that I said to myself is something good's got to come out of what's fundamentally really bad. And so from now onwards, I dance. And so I'd get on the dance floor and make a fool of myself and do that. And so for me as a maths, very much in a dominant male paradigm, successful academic, I'd even done sport and athletics and hurdles at international Olympic level, heavily in my head and developing such a skill in my head that I could out-rationalize anybody. And so coming down to a crash and working on myself, I started realizing that I actually had a body that I'd only beaten up through training, gym. How many steps can I do? Everything competitive, everything KPI'd, everything goal-orientated. And I actually had a heart. And these things needed to be listened to. And what's my inner self wanting? What is an inner self? And if you're right in that competitive, rational space, you're not supposed to have an inner space. It's supposed to be outer and what you're achieving, and that's all that matters. With all my reliance on the head, I had totally left out real heart connection, relationships and safe relationships with others. And dance definitely helped enormously in that. So my job has, or my work, my play has evolved into working in the corporate world, working with quite a senior level on soft skill stuff. I call it complex skill stuff, but it's all about relationships. And I give them a 1.5-hour movement session, offering them the same content that we've done in the 1.5 days, but I'm doing it without the head involved, so no talking. And several of the dances require people doing something together and looking in each other's eyes and seeing the human being behind it. Freaky stuff for in your head, male, masculine type people, men or women. And when we sit down afterwards, there's an amazing change in piece because it's on presence. The theme is presence. And there's amazing understanding of who they are, who the others are. And so many, particularly white men, will say, I really enjoyed that. I must dance more. What I want to say is to everyone, but particularly men, it's okay not to be good at something. It's actually a release. It's a relief not to be able to score 10 out of 10 on it. How wonderful. And how wonderful to be free in one's lack of expertise, just to have fun and to move and to discover how much you haven't done that. Yeah, and the dominant paradigm that we've been living in, which is a very masculine paradigm with people as machines, it's all about me and it's I think, therefore I am, and all of that is so huge that our bodies are just there to take our heads to the next meeting. they're not there for anything else. And any fitness training and training of the body is in order to make it us better at work, able to have more staying power. And yeah, the body is so magical and so much wisdom. Then you start knowing your body is actually wiser than your head, and you discover you've got a brain in your gut, etc., etc.
I just wonder if you had any thoughts on, how can this support us now during this time?
A very good reason to keep dancing is that, especially something like lockdown, there has to be a stuckness. I can think as much as I like. I can come to great conclusions of different things. But where is that truth? Is it in my head? If so, it's pretty fragile. And so how do I get that solidly in my body? How do I move it around? How do I move the seriousness of what we're facing? This is really difficult stuff. And so I think dancing for release and relief is more crucial now than ever. Maturana says intelligence is our flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances. So the dance is the flexibility. And instead of being singular in your approach to problem solving, you start getting this flexibility. It's actually crucial for clarity of thought, for peace of thought, so that we're in a crucial time and moving forward. Who the heck knows where we're going to go and what can be done? The movement allows stuck places to be unstuck. And if you're leading or relating through a stuckness, you're looking back and your decisions are from the past, and they're not likely to be very useful for creating a way of moving forward. And so for me, it's absolutely crucial to be moving now. Yeah, sure. So I'd say something like the provocative way. Sure. So you feel embarrassed. Oh, what a poor boy you are. The flipping world needs the best you now. Could you step up, please? And could you take responsibility for moving, I won't use the word cuck, so for moving your stuff so that you have a place of flexibility and freedom to move when spaces open up for you to do the right thing.
Oh, brilliant, Chris. That's really a great kind of bringing it all together with passion and with, clarity of why this is so relevant now and why it's always relevant for people who, I presume most people would like to be leaders in their own lives and also lead the way into whatever is next in their communities.
Petra, as you know, I love dancing with you, and I love what you're doing in your commitment to the dance. So thank you for the incredible time investment.
Thank you so much, Chris.